Probably get like a solo now after this. Yeah, exactly. Now I feel like I kind of picked up on their way they do it. Yeah, it's like, okay, so you're gonna do a solo now, right? I feel like I picked up now on how it works here. It's like, no, it's gonna be a solo now. Yeah, it's like, okay, I feel it. It's coming here. I think this one is probably one of the best openings so far I've seen from Band-Maid. Yeah, like immediately I'm like, wait, this is a song. Yeah, like, so. Yeah, I like it with your hair on covering your face like that. Yeah, I don't know, man, it's hot, man. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I kinda like it. Yeah, you got the kind of the mystery going. Well, today is Saturday, guys, and you know how it is. Saturday, everyone's sitting home alone, right, contemplating life, whatever. So I felt, let's do the Band-Maid alone video today, guys, you know. Because it's how it is. I also, as a side note now I'm getting into this motion here of doing Band-Maid on Saturdays. It's like Saturday and Wednesdays now, and I probably keep that schedule. And the reason why is because, and it's like a side note, I'll make a video about it later, but I feel like this anime season, right, is pretty weak, right? So on the channel, guys, if you do channel, we do reaction reviews of most different Japanese stuff, right, but also other stuff too, video games, and also anime, and of course also then Japanese music and so on, right? And currently, I can adapt my schedule after the season, right? So if you have an anime season, if it drops like 5 animes Saturday, right, and I want to review all of them, yeah, then I'm not gonna, like, you know, do like a Band-Maid video, right? But this season has been kind of weird. I just want to point it out. Some people have been commenting saying like, oh, there's so few anime videos now, and I'm just like, yeah, but honestly, there actually is very few animes that I actually think are good this season. But sorry, long outlay, but I just know a lot of people have been asking for that for the last like week or 2 weeks now. Let's go into Alone. Here we go. Alone. Yeah, good start immediately. I feel it's like, you know, powerful beginning. Very dark so far. But I feel they do have a lot of like darkness in them. No, but I mean like commercial visual, like, yeah, like it's a lot of like, you know, like covered in the like this shadowiness in Unleashed and so on. Certainly. And you know, Rock Lady is very dark as well as a little blackness. I think this one is probably one of the best openings so far I've seen from Band-Maid. Yeah, like immediately I'm like, wait, this is a song. Yeah, like the first music. This is the first video I've seen from them which seems to be one take. Probably isn't probably edited, but I mean, it's just like everyone is in one room and they don't change any angles or anything. I think so. Yeah. I like it with your hair on covering your face like that. Yeah, I don't know, man, it's hot, man. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I kinda like it. Yeah, you got the kind of the mystery going there. Come on, it's good, it's good. I think it's one of the best chorus so far. Yeah, but it also feels more typical and a little, do I have to say, Japanese pop? This feels more kind of common. If you listen to a lot of anime openings, this feels a lot more like a kind of, yeah, something like that in big sense. But this feels more like a kind of a, what you can expect, you know, from like an anime opening. Yeah, down. Probably get like a solo now after this. Yeah, exactly. Now I feel like I kind of picked up on their way they do it. Yeah, it's like, okay, so you're gonna do a solo now, right? I feel like I picked up now on how it works here. It's like, no, it's gonna be a solo now. Yeah, it's like, okay, I feel it. It's coming here. Exactly. It's like. I would say this is maybe my favorite. Maybe, yeah. This one immediately. I like it. Yeah, there's no like. But I do feel that I'm also getting like, oh, I listen to them enough now to kind of know their tempos or I know what they're gonna do here. But let's break it down. So with this moment, right, I felt like, oh yeah, I'm part of the the Fat Club now, because I felt like that classic, you know, it's kind of like, it doesn't have to be music, right? It can be anything. It can be an author, you know, and you kind of see a pattern, right? You know what I mean? It's obviously it obviously is a part of a pattern recognition thing, but I felt in this moment, because when they slow down here, just before this scene here, right? And then I was like, okay, here comes the solo. like now I'm at the level now, like, okay, I know how to structure the songs now. Yeah, like this felt like very much like I can see how the, you know, the whole song will play out, when the chorus will play or whatever, right? Because of course we talk about music, right? We talk about music. You have different, you know, structures of a song, right? For example, the chorus, okay, it's like a part of the song, right? But most, I'll say it, artists have the same kind of like the tempo, right? You know, so it's like this artist has the chorus always coming at like, you know, 45 seconds, and then again at like, let's say 1.35 whatever. Like they have a certain like, you know, tempo, and they don't really, you know, derive much from that, right? And I get my point, I guess, that I feel now when I saw this moment here, I felt like, I think I kind of starting to really, you know, like I see the pattern. I sort of see how Band-Maid is structuring their songs, right? Because, you know, each artist has their own, each band or whatever has their own, of course, you know, mode operandi, right? So like I start to feel how I was like, I kind of know what I expect here, right? I will say I found Alone here one of the best ones immediately. I like the beginning of it. I thought they had one of the strongest starts, right? You know, like it's the first minute or so. It really got me into it immediately. You know, powerful and got me going in that sense, yeah. Now, I did mention it earlier, and we kind of see it when they start singing like the main. That it also felt like more of a common anime opening. That also might be the reason why that I immediately liked it a lot. Because obviously, you know, I keep saying it, right? I listen to a lot of anime openings, right? And a lot of anime opening reviews for years, right? And this song certainly felt more like, oh, this is like a common anime opening thing. And I don't know how to make sense of that. Like, it's hard to explain, honestly, I feel. But it's kind of like, you know, you have certain music which you, obviously in Japanese music you have, you know, 35,000 different genres or whatever, right? But there are clearly a certain like main set of kind of music that you find in animes, if that makes any sense. I hope people get what I mean, right? But it's like a lot of that, and this one here felt more close to that, where I would say that other songs, for example, than the latest opening, right, for Lady Modesty Rock Lady, that opening, that is not like, I would say that song feels more unique, right? For that kind of anime opening, where you normally wouldn't have like a song like that for most animes. But this one here could be like an anime, basically. And I don't mean it's a bad thing. No, I don't mean it's a bad or a good thing. I just mean it feels more like, maybe this felt more like familiar, right? This felt more like, this feels more like a common Japanese pop rock music. That's kind of I mentioned earlier. This felt more pop, if I say that. But I mean like J-pop, you know. This felt more J-poppy. I can see someone in the comments being angry at me now, like, "Oh, this is the best rock ever." No, but I don't know. But it felt more in that alignment. I have to say, I really love her face there. I love this. Yeah, I love the hair there. They come in the angle. I mentioned in reactions, like, man, that looks amazing. Yeah, I don't know, but I really like that kind of haircut on the women. Yeah, come on, it looks cool, you know, covering one eye. I don't know, man. It looks bad. It looks anime. But I have to say though, right, that I find the visuals overall in this one probably the weakest. Doesn't mean that this is like ugly or whatever, all the band members or looks great or whatever, right? But I mean, it's be like, nah, yeah, it's a different one, you know? It's a different one. It's recorded like in one place. In the other ones, for example, look at the latest one, right? They kind of have different classrooms, gymnasium, the extras there, right? Unleash obviously is like an anime opening with a lot of action and turning into Sailor Moon cats or whatever, right? So it's like some kind of storyline there, etc. So this one here is just like, yeah, in one. It's a kind of a classic, obviously classic music video, right? You just have the band and you just play it out, and it feels like it's one shot, right? You know, it is of course probably heavily edited, but that's a good part of it. It felt like this could have been just one performance without any cuts or whatever. But still, the camera jumps around, so I still expect it to be that. But if you compare it to, for example, their first hit, right? You know, really, you know, made them, you know, become famous, so to speak, right? In that one, you have the face cuts, right? They're showing like all 5 members in different angles. You see like the head like that, and you have that like the kind of the singing, and you kind of see the two different faces on side or whatever. And that one has more like also has big cinematic effects to it, or whatever you call it, tricks or whatever you want to call it, right? This one here felt like a very classic, like old school rock music. It's like one performance, one studio, one room, bam, you just bang it out. So not much more to say about that. No, I mean, I admit it. Obviously, Unleash so far is my favorite. The anime of this. I admit it. I kind of like to have more of a story. You know what I mean? And I say the same thing when I do anime opening reviews, right? That I like to have a journey, right? Some kind of journey of. So, for example, the latest one, when you go over different classrooms, right? And then the gymnasium and so on. That one has a story because you see these the schoolgirls, right? They're kind of like have to be obedient, right? That the ladies are modesty, right? They have to like follow the rules and all this stuff, and it's like some kind of like authoritarian point to it, right? And then when the song kind of starts getting faster, you see the chorus, and and then the girls started dancing, and they throw the paper around, and they kind of they free themselves, right? So I think that's fair to say that's a better music video from a purely like visual standpoint, because it has like a journey of this is this girl still repressed. And then they're starting to, fight that, and then they free themselves, and they, go out and do what they want in life, right? So it's like a story there to be had in the video as well, right? So I think that's a bit like 10 out of 10 video, right? Where you have the whole thing as well, plus the music, right? This one here is like, it's more kind of, it's a good song, and more a classic setting of rock music. But anyway, subscribe, slap and have a great day.